Hey everybody, and welcome back. So glad you could make it again to another video. And today we're gonna have some fun and make one of our family's favorite recipes. Hello family and friends, I'm Susan and welcome to my home. Hey everybody, it's Susan here, and tonight it's time for some chili. Not just any chili. It is time for my version of Wendy's chili, which is the chili that I use whenever I enter competitions. It's not that hard. It is actually quite easy. I do tweak it, of course, because I like mine spicy, and you'll see how I tweak it. But come on along with me and let me make you the best bowl of chili you've ever had. My ponytail's up. Let's get to cooking. And this is the Wendy's chili copycat recipe. And as you can see, if you can't see the glare, I've tweaked it just a little bit because I like to change things up and do it a little differently. So, first thing on the docket is 2 pounds of hamburger meat that I have browned and drained the fat off of. I'm going to use 3 cups of just plain tomato juice and 1 cup of the spicy V8. It calls for 1 29-ounce can of tomato puree. I think the puree is a little sweet, so I always add in some diced tomatoes to make it not as sweet, or use just diced tomatoes and then cook it down and then blend it. But tonight, to make it faster, I'm just going to combine the 2 of them. The next thing is 2 cans of kidney beans that I have rinsed and drained, 1 medium-large onion chopped, 1/2 cup of diced celery, 1/4 cup of green bell pepper, 1 packet of McCormick chili spice, which is just the regular, a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1½ teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, which I've got, and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground oregano, which that is some of mine that came out of the garden, an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I'm going to use 3 ounces of tomato paste. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of this chipotle chili spice. That's what makes it spicy, but it is so good. And then, of course, the salt and pepper I said. So, we're going to get to dumping all this. We're going to get to dumping all of this into the container. Now, the secret to how spicy you want your chili is when you put your spices in. If you put your spices in toward the end, it will make it spicier. If you put your spices in the beginning, it will mellow the spices out a little bit. So I usually wait to put my spices in toward the end. That way they have a lot more punch to them. So come on and let me show you how I do this. And we're going to start with 3 cups of just regular tomato juice. There's 2 cups. Here's 3 cups. And then the next thing is 1 cup of the spicy V8, which I know from doing this so many times that 2 of these little bitty cans make a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and empty these in here. This gives it lots of flavor and makes it spicy, which you know I love. There's 1. Here's 2. The next thing I'm going to put in is the diced tomato and the tomato puree. All right. Next are the 2 cans of kidney beans. And it's basically a dump and go right now, ain't it? The onion, the celery, bell pepper, ounces of the tomato paste, which is basically half the can. Okay. 1 teaspoon of salt. Half teaspoon of ground pepper. And I'm going to wait to add the cumin and the rest of the spices and the McCormick until after it has simmered for a little bit. It says to let it simmer for 1 hour. I'm going to go ahead and let it cook a little bit. And then I'll add my spices toward the end. That way, we'll make sure that they are nice and spicy whenever the chili's done. So I'm going to go ahead and get this simmering. And then we'll add the spices. About 30 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and let it simmer for 30 minutes. And then we'll add the spices at the 30-minute mark. So, I'll go ahead and cover this up and let that simmer for 30 minutes. Hey everybody, it's Susan. And I was just going to come on here while this is cooking. And I'd like to thank all of my subscribers. Y'all mean so much to me. And if you haven't already and you're watching this video, please subscribe. We would love it if you would become a part of our channel's family. Now, when it comes to this chili, you make a big run of it, and then you got it. It's unless you have a large family, you got enough for a couple meals. For Danny and I, this can make 4 different meals for us, and it freezes beautifully. All you have to do is put it in container and put it in the freezer. Then if you come home one day and you're not quite sure what you want to make, or if you don't want to make what you got on your menu plan, you can always grab one of these out of the freezer. All you have to do is microwave it for a little bit so it'll get a little bit soft. Then put it in a pot and heat it up. It is so good the next time around also. But let's go ahead and let this keep on cooking. We'll come back when 30 minutes has gone by and we'll add our spices in. Now let's get the spices in. We are going to add the packet of McCormick chili spice. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of chipotle chili spice. That's what you call nice and hot and spicy. I am going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne. So basically 1/2 of a 1/4 right there. Okay. 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder. That's 1. And about 1/2. I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of dried oregano, which I have my homemade dried oregano, which I'm going to kind of eyeball about 1/2 teaspoon. And then, as you can see, let's see if I can get in there. There you go. Now what I'm going to do, because it's my homemade, is just oh, I got some didn't come out of the spoon. Crumble it in my hands. That way it can release its aroma. And then the only thing I have left is my cumin. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. One teaspoon of ground cumin. All right, we have added all of our spices in now. What we're going to do is let it simmer for another 30 minutes, and it is going to be ready. So let me go ahead and incorporate all of these spices in here. The chipotle chili is going to give it some heat. The little bit of cayenne isn't really going to do much as far as heat is. The regular McCormick gives it lots of good flavor. There's just something in there with that McCormick that's good. Now we're going to let it simmer for about another 30 minutes, and it will be time to eat some good chili. And it's looking good as it is already. But 30 minutes. We'll be back. Now it's time to get out some chili. Look at that. That looks so good. I'm going to get some of the juice in here too, because that is good also. You okay, Dada? All right. And that is Danny's chili. I'm going to go ahead and add some cheese on top. And a little bit of sour cream. And some sour cream. Y'all know I love making little designs on it. Now, I ate mine with tortilla shells. Danny likes his with just saltine crackers. It's however you like it, but this is some chili to love. Okay, and here's mine. Spicy. Goodness. This is a good bowl of chili. And it's hot, but it's good. Give this recipe a try. You'll love it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. My version of Wendy's chili, my competition chili. The recipe, of course, is down below, so you can print it off and make some for your own. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd love it if you would join our channel's family. And until next week, have a great week. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram or Pinterest, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.